Jen. I think
Okay.
hearing out my.
Me?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So I think we're live. Hey, everybody, and welcome to Chef AJ Live. I'm your host, Chef AJ, and this is where I introduce you to amazing people like you who are doing great things in the world that I think you should know about. Today, we have a wonderful presentation of 3 amazing recipes from the chefs at Little Green Forks. Chef Jen is going to be making a lentil loaf, a tamale pie, and a sweet potato bowl. If you're wondering what Little Green Forks is, when I used to live in Los Angeles, I used to order from them when I'd go out of town so that Charles would have food. And they are a wonderful food delivery service that is not only plant-based, but whole food plant-based, very low in fat. And if they do use sugar and salt, it's very, very minimal. They don't use any oil. And they were founded by John Tanner, who's been on the show several times because he has an amazing story of recovery or reversal of his heart disease, or at least management, depending on who you're talking to about that. But he basically died and was resuscitated, and then now he's singing the praises of this type of diet. And so he created this wonderful delivery company. But you have to kind of live in a certain area in Los Angeles, and we have Amanda on that's going to tell us where. But for those of you that do live in the Los Angeles area, and we know one of our regular viewers, Dr. Daryl Woodruff, not only lives in the area, but he's a regular orderer of their delicious food. We actually have a $15 off discount code for any purchases $30 or more. So please welcome to the show Amanda and Jen from Little Green Forks. Hi guys, thanks so much for coming on.
Hi, we are glad to be here. Thank you so much, Chef AJ, for having us on here. Hi, Daryl Woodruff, if you're watching. He is one of our loyal and faithful customers who we're very thankful for. So yes, like Chef AJ said, Little Green Forks is a plant-based meal delivery service. I can go more into details about all of our business logistics and everything a little bit later, but we kind of want to get a head start on our recipes today. So I'm going to let Chef Jen take it over right now, and she's going to go into our recipes for today.
Great.
Okay. So I'm going to try to be juggling because of, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Because of baking time, 2 of the 3 items are baked. I want to get going on one of them and get stuff going, and then start on the second one, and then while those are in the oven, do the one that doesn't require baking. So of the 3 things we have, the most labor intensive is the lentil loaf, which if you like meatloaf but want to do plant-based, it's fantastic, and it smells so good while it's cooking. Oh my God. So the first thing, and this is a recipe that is on one of our sister websites within the company of Newsci. Amanda, if you want to get a link for that. And
yeah, newsci.org. I can actually, I don't know if Chef AJ, you want to, I don't know.
Type it in the chat, sure.
Awesome. So Newsci, NUSCI.org. A bunch of different recipes, all whole food, plant-based that you can try out. Definitely suggest visiting it. There's also a lot of other information on there that's all about plant-based food. So very, very wonderful website that John Tanner made.
So the lentil loaf is one of the recipes at newsci.org. So first thing I'm going to do is get, we have the classic mirepoix here, onion, carrot, celery. I already pre-diced it to get things going faster. And I'm just going to put them in water because we use no oil, and get those things sweating and softening on the stove top. In a little while, I'm going to add mushroom as well. That's already pre-diced. And while that's cooking, I'm going to start on the tamale pie.
So guys, I'm going to type in the organization that they just mentioned, and John Tanner does such amazing work. He has these, I think he still has them, right? He's doing them virtually, these monthly get-togethers.
Yes, he is. Yeah. So we just transitioned to doing our virtual Newsci workshop. So what's nice about that is we're no longer kind of restricted to the area that we're in, we're in Duarte, city of Duarte, which is LA County. So now we can reach, anybody throughout the country, and we can, share John's story with them and share how they can kind of get started on a whole food plant-based diet.
Right. So where is your delivery? What is the sphere that you can go to?
Yeah, so currently we deliver to San Gabriel Valley Monday through Friday. So that's our typical delivery zone. And then we deliver to LA County on Tuesdays. So Los Angeles, we even go to like Sherman Oaks, that area. So we deliver there on Tuesdays, and then Orange County, we deliver on Thursdays. So you can go to our website. You would go on the top of I have a PowerPoint. I'm not sure if maybe we can go over it at the end just real briefly. That shows all the days and everything. But yes, so for Thursday, for example, you would go on any of our Thursday menus, and that would be Orange County delivery. So
Nice.
yeah, we have it on our FAQ on our website. So you can always take a look at that too if there's any other questions.
Have you ever thought of expanding or just shipping it?
We've actually, especially during COVID, we were thinking, when COVID started, we were like, okay, maybe we should start to think about shipping it. So we've thought about it. We're just thinking of all the logistics with it, and it's stuff we have to think about of, how long our food can last and the different materials and everything. So it's something that we hope to get to sometime in the near future.
Nice. So just remember, Jen, that if you're not talking, we can't see you.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so we can't see a darn thing. If you're not speaking, the way Zoom works is it goes to whoever's talking.
Okay, I'm not particularly Zoom literate, so I put the mirepoix on the stove, and now I'm dicing up the fresh vegetables that go in the filling of the tamale pie. We've got some sweet fresh vegetables that go in here, carrots and bell peppers, which have natural sugar in them, and a little bit of yellow onion. We go through so much yellow onion, it's ridiculous. A lot of our soups, in fact, pretty much every soup we do has onion in it. So we spend a lot of time dicing onions, all for the love of whole food, plant-based food.
What's your most popular item?
Actually, the ones that I'm doing today are pretty darn popular. We also do a shepherd's pie, which is lentil-based instead of having lamb in it. That one sells pretty well, and in fact, it sells so well that I've started making mashed potatoes in huge batches and putting them in Cambros and just using it throughout the week because I use so much at a time. Okay, so I've got the fresh vegetables in here, and now I have some other things like herbs, and I've got some tomato paste that's going to go in there. Let's see what else. And beans. We use 2 kinds of beans in the tamale pie. So we like Trader Joe's. Our pantry is full of things with Trader Joe's labels on them. And it's kind of beautiful because a can of refried beans comes in 16 ounces, and our large uses 8. So it's not like we get weird off-peak amounts to worry about. Got some diced tomatoes here too. That helps to mix it up. I'll be right back. I need a spoon.
Right. Well, when she's gone, Amanda, you still there?
Yes, I am.
Oh, nice, nice. So tell us about this monthly event that John Tanner does and why people might want to sign up for the new Sign mailing list so that they can participate in it.
Yes. So what happens at these new site workshops? So John Tanner shares his story. So Chef AJ kind of touched on it a little bit in the beginning, but what happened, it was in 2009, John Tanner, who thought he was, a healthy guy. He was on his daily jog in his neighborhood and he collapsed to the ground and his heart went to cardiac arrest. So thankfully, with the help of about 17 people, including neighbors and the hospital, he miraculously survived. And so after that, he did all of this research on how to improve his heart health, amongst many other things that it can improve. And he discovered that it was a whole food, plant-based diet, no oil specifically. So after that, he hired a personal chef, and then that personal chef kind of started cooking for him and his family. And then he actually owns a tech company. And so his tech employees started wanting the food also. So in 2012, that's when Little Green Forks started. And so that's how we, started delivering to our local area. But then he also was so passionate about all the information he learned. He started NUSCI, which is a nonprofit nutrition science foundation. And so he decided to host these monthly in-person workshops prior, and he would share his story. We would actually provide a free meal, Little Green Forks, to everybody that attended, and we would give out a free book. So we had a bunch of different books from a variety of plant-based,
including yours.
Thank you. Do you guys know I have a third book out with Glenn Mercer?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's actually doing really well. It was #1, cut several categories, called Own Your Health. So I've got over 100 new recipes here you guys might want to try.
Yes, John Tanner was actually talking about that recently. I think he started reading it, or he already is halfway through it or something like that, or he ordered it. I can't remember, but he was talking about it because Glenn, I think, shared it with him.
So Chef Jen, Lola says, how do you make mashed potatoes taste creamy and buttery without cream and butter?
Well, we used to use almond milk, but because John wanted to eliminate the oil that is necessary for the emulsion when you're making plant-based milks, we just went to water, and our mashed potatoes literally only have russet, water, and salt in them. But my trick is I boil the potatoes and then use an immersion blender to whip them.
Do you use lentils from Trader Joe's, the already cooked one, or do you cook them from scratch?
We cook ours from scratch. And we use lentils in probably about a dozen different things that we do. Everything from a classic French lentil soup to a wonderful salad that we do that has all kinds of fresh vegetables in it and served on a bed of spring mix. And because there's like one item of each color of the rainbow, except blue, we call it rainbow salad. So there's red is apples, orange is carrots, yellow is bell peppers, green is parsley, and purple is red onion. And then there's lentil and cooked quinoa in it, and it has this really beautiful balsamic vinegar-based dressing that comes with it, balsamic and thyme, really, really savory and tart. Good stuff. Okay, so the things that I've added to my bowl so far, in case I've been off camera, I currently have fresh diced carrots, fresh diced onion, fresh diced red bell pepper, fresh minced garlic, tomato paste, refried beans that come from Trader Joe's, and hand diced tomatoes. And then the two herbs and spices that get added are oregano and cumin. The recipe calls for a very little teeny bit of salt. Probably not going to put it in today because you really can't tell the difference. When I came on board with the company almost 3 years ago, I went in and reduced the salt quantities in all of our recipes, and nobody has complained.
That's great. Because people can always add salt, but you can't take it out.
Exactly. And John kind of has a philosophy. I mean, in pop culture, a lot of people think that salt is bad for your heart, and maybe in a way it is. But the way that John looks at it is that if you follow the diet in your day-to-day life and you truly are healthy, you can have little bits of salt and even little bits of like avocado or other things that we don't use. We don't use those in our menu because avocados have a naturally high fat content, and we eliminate all the oil and fat that we can. So no nuts, no seeds, no processed oil. But John, I've heard John say that if you truly are in good health and follow this diet all the time, you can treat yourself to half an avocado sometimes, for example.
This would be perfect for people that are following Dr. Esselstyn's program.
Exactly. In fact, that's the name of our company, comes from Forks Overnights. And John is buddies with all those guys. He name drops a lot.
Yeah, I don't name drop because Brad Pitt told me it wasn't right. Just kidding.
Sorry, my mirepoix is actually almost done. I need to add more water.
So on our menu, we do have entrees that you can choose. We have soups, we have salads, and we have sides. So our menu on our website is also rotating. So you won't see the same thing on Monday that you will on Tuesday. So you may see maybe one or two similar items, but we try to keep a variety going just to keep our customers satisfied. And we love to hear our customers' feedback on our meals also. So if we find that one is more popular, we might keep it on our menu for a few more days, or we just like to have a variety so people, don't get bored and they can always have something different to enjoy.
So for people,
I'm always trying to expand the menu too.
Yes, she is.
Do you actually deliver Thanksgiving dinner?
So we will be delivering on Wednesday. So we don't deliver. We are closed on Thursday and Friday. We typically don't get a lot of orders that day in the past. So we just decided to close Thursday, Friday, but we do deliver Wednesday. So we do suggest items like our tamale pie is great for Thanksgiving. I brought that last year to our family get together and it's a really popular item. Shepherd's pie is great for Thanksgiving dinner. Lentil loaf especially is great. And stuff, we have our sweet potato pumpkin pudding. We have a few different.
Actually, do you know that that's her recipe, Amanda?
Oh,
that's AJ's recipe.
Wow, good. I didn't know. Where's my royalty? Just kidding. No, I'm so happy that you're doing that. That is terrific.
We do that year round. That's not just seasonal. So for people who need their pumpkin spice sticks, you can get that all year round with us.
Yep. So variety of dishes people can get for Thanksgiving, but just delivered the day prior. And if you're in Orange County or LA County on a day we don't deliver, you can always give us a call and I can possibly work something out that week.
Amanda, did you mention our seasonal, our super awesome, you need this for Thanksgiving seasonal item?
What item is that, Jen?
The stuffed pumpkin.
Oh, there we go. See, that's why we have her as our chef. Yes, we have our seasonal stuffed pumpkin. You want to talk about that one a little bit, what we put in that one?
I do. This is actually a recipe I saw come through my Facebook feed about 10 years ago. It's been a while. And the original recipe has a catchy title that I'm not going to give because it's not vegan. But I was a vegetarian at the time. Now I'm a vegan. And the only thing that I substituted out from the original recipe at that time was sun-dried tomatoes instead of bacon, and it was just divine. But I've kind of made it my own since then, and the version that we do is basically a mushroom barley stuffing. So we buy the pie pumpkins and cut off the top and scoop out the seeds and the guts, and then we make this wonderful mushroom stuffing. It's got mushroom, onions, garlic, bouillon, vegetable bouillon, and several different kinds of herbs in it. And then it gets stuffed, and then the whole pumpkin gets baked with the stuffing inside of it. And ideally, if this is a dish you're going to share at Thanksgiving or any meal for that matter, you can actually just cut the pumpkin in wedges and serve it so that the stuffing is on top of the wedge. And of course, the squash is perfectly edible. And it's a lovely combination of grain, savory, and vegetable. So we do the stuffed pumpkins as long as they're available this time of year. And typically they become unavailable at the end of November. If they stay available, our source stores, our Trader Joe's has had them on occasion. Smart and Final by my house has them, and there's a little store about a mile down the street called Grocery Outlet. They have them. So as long as we can get pumpkins, we'll offer it. But as soon as they're not available anymore, it's gone until next year.
Wow. I noticed I just added the recipes to the show notes, and thank you for providing them. And most of them are written in ounces, which is because I worked at a restaurant, that's how we did it. And people don't like that. People want cups, but I find that recipes come out better when you actually know exactly, when I weigh it rather than when I measure it, because people can measure very differently. Anybody
Yeah,
want?
We are so much into the precision because John focuses so strongly on nutrition and calories and portionality with what we do, that we even measure our water in ounces on a scale.
So Amanda, how many people work for the company, and have most of them adopted this way of eating, or at least do they enjoy the food from time to time?
Yeah, so with Little Green Forks, we do have currently now we just have 4 kitchen staff that are actually working in the kitchen. And then we have we have 2 delivery drivers technically also. And then there's me and John. And then we have the tech company. So we're all actually in the same building. We actually just moved to the city of Thwarty. We have our own commercial kitchen now. So that's where you see Chef Jen, where she's working. That is our kitchen, which we are so excited about. We had a shared in Pasadena. So with our tech employees, I think we have about 15 of them that are actually in the building too. So not everybody in the building, of course, eats plant-based, but a lot of them do enjoy, they get an employee discount. But everyone enjoys the food and people order it pretty frequently. We have a pickup option also. So that's what our employees do. It's a free pickup option. So if you're in our local area, you can schedule it to be picked up and you don't have to pay a delivery fee or anything. But yeah, now I wouldn't say everybody, around here is whole food plant-based, but everybody does enjoy eating the meals and they're so convenient. And that's what I think what John really wants to do is to show people, how easy it is to eat plant-based. You don't, have to go out and grocery shop and cook and do all this work. Initially, especially, you can just order meals like this that are whole food plant-based. So you can get in the habit of eating this, kind of get used to the flavors, change the palate a little bit. And then you can possibly, branch out on your own and start cooking, maybe get inspiration for dishes. But we definitely want to try to make the transition to this lifestyle easier for people and not be, as intimidating. And I think some people, when they're starting out this way, it can be a little intimidating to them. So yeah, we try to encourage everybody around here to eat that way also, because we know it's ultimately, the best for your health. And John invites everybody always to his workshops. He loves to talk about a story and share all that information with anyone who wants to.
Does he still give out the free book? I mean, oh my God, every time there was a conference, he'd always give a free book.
I know. So he does. Actually, it's a little bit different now on our workshops online. We do a raffle now just because it's just easier that way for us right now instead of being in person. Oh, sorry about that. I don't know if you can hear. Give me 1 second. Jen, you can take over for a minute.
Okay. Well, I heard your last question. I was busy, but about, do the people in the company follow this? I follow this diet more than anyone else, I think, than John. John is absolutely, although he has his weaknesses. We know he has his weaknesses. But I actually order one main item as my primary meal every day. So I'll get a quart of soup or a large salad, an entree, and John is very, very generous to us as far as employee discount goes. We're so lucky that he's so passionate about what he does, and he really just he does this mostly to try to help people make a difference in their lives, to improve the quality of their lives, and to last and to live longer, And I think it's really fortunate, all kinds of reasons. The last job I had before this one was a steakhouse. Not really great for me as a vegan. Not fun, but every day I see food that I want to eat when I work here. And the fact that he encourages us in so many ways to follow the diet is just spectacular.
That's cool.
Okay, so at this point, I have completed the filling for the tamale pie, and my savories are still, I added the mushrooms, so that's still simmering on the stove. And let me measure this out. Tamale pie is just about ready to go in. And one of the things that I've added some dishes to the menu since I became the kitchen manager that have a little more bite to them. Before I came, the tamale pie was kind of really the only thing that had spicy, and that was just minced jalapeno pepper as a garnish on the cornbread topping. But now we have spicy eggplant and mestir wat, which is an Ethiopian red lentil stew. It's not authentic because we serve it with rice, because there's no way I'm going to try to learn how to make injera. Hang on, I'm stirring my vegetables. What else do we have that's spicy?
I think those are, oh, we have the soup, spicy zucchini.
Oh yeah, the zucchini soup, which has,
soup.
It has 2 little slices of jalapeno pepper in it per quart, but boy, does it give it a nice little zing. So I'm trying to expand to other cuisines. We tend to have a lot of stuff that's Mexican, or we have a couple of pasta things that kind of ring Italian. But one of today's items, which actually my excellent, fantastic rock star part-timer Suyan is making today, is North African chickpea tagine with a couscous and apricot base. So we've got something that comes from North Africa. We have japchae, which comes from Korea. It's also noodle-based, but it's a sweet potato starch noodle rather than wheat-based. What else?
How does somebody know how much to order?
Ask. We have a customer in Pasadena who's been with us for, how long has Laura been with us, Amanda?
At least 2 years.
At least a year and a half.
Yeah.
So she used to order more than she does now, but I think it's because she misses Beth. There are some people who, especially the folks who live outside of a reasonable distance for pickup, where they order and depending whether they're single or have a family, there's no way of knowing. But some of these folks order enough food to last all week. Some people might order for a couple days worth.
Can it be frozen?
Many things can be frozen, yes.
Yeah, so you can freeze like I would say some of the soups. The texture will always be a little bit different, I would say, afterwards, just maybe slightly, but most of our entrees you can also freeze too. Like the tamale pie, I think, is one of the best ones to freeze, and even the lentil loaf. So there are some that you can freeze. If they're on the website, if any of you guys are on the website right now, so we offer a medium size, and the medium is typically like an individual size portion. So that would be great for one person for lunch or for dinner. We also have a large you can order, and a large is typically great for 2 people or 2 meals. So some people even are able to get 3 meals out of the large. It just depends on your portions and what you're eating. And then on a few of our items, you'll also see a family size option. So family size is great for about 6 to 8 people comfortably. So if you're ordering maybe something for Thanksgiving, so family size is pretty much just 3 larges, if you think of it that way.
And how's it delivered, and is it recyclable? What's delivered, and what's the delivery charge?
So we deliver so what she just showed you was what Jen just showed you was our large entree tray. So those are 90% compostable. Those are our trays. Right now, we do use a plastic film covering. That's just what we found that works for us currently. And then our soup containers and salad containers, all, they're recyclable. You can definitely reuse them in your house, which, I do. You could just reuse a lot of the containers that we give you. They have good lids that go on top. And then, so for LA County and Orange County, it's a $15 delivery fee. And then for our local area, so like Pasadena, El Monte, Duarte, Monrovia, those areas, San Gabriel Valley, it's a $5 delivery fee. And as I mentioned earlier, if you want to pick it up from our office, we do have pickups Monday through Friday between 2 and 5 p.m. and that is completely free. So you would just place your order, all orders, place your order by 9 p.m. the night prior that you'd want it delivered, because that's our cutoff time for our delivery. So you just want to order before 9, after 9 p.m. You won't be able to order for the next day.
Okay, I'm going to jump in because the tamale pie has been assembled and is ready to go into the oven. And it looks like this. I'm going to try and not let it spill out. And this is one of our most intense dishes. It's very dense. It's very heavy. And the tray, what is it, about 8-inch tray, Amanda? 8 inches by 6 inches?
Yeah, I think that's about right.
Yeah. And it is solid food. It is solid food. So the finished product before it goes into the oven, this one weighs just shy of 2 pounds. That's 2 pounds of food. Okay, so I'm gonna get that in the oven.
2 pounds, that's about a serving for me. So, you know, people can, Amanda, what I was thinking, because obviously we have viewers all over the world and all over the United States that won't be able to take advantage of the delivery. They could try the recipes. But, you know, I was thinking people could order them for friends as like Christmas presents, or if somebody's in the hospital, getting out of the hospital, that would be a nice thing to do if you knew someone in the area.
That's a great idea. We've had that. Definitely, we've had customers, had someone recently pick up and they're like, oh yeah, my this for us for, you know, dinner this week. So yeah, you can definitely do that. We currently don't offer gift cards or anything like that, but you can definitely just place an order and put that person's delivery address or something like that. And definitely a great gift. Holidays are coming up. It's a really special gift to give to someone. It's just showing somebody how much you really care about them. You're giving them the healthiest meals that they can get without them having to cook for it. So it's a very sweet gift to give to someone.
Yeah, I once got when I was doing my show live, Kenny was my camera guy, and I remember I got him that as a present. He really liked it.
Oh, that's awesome.
But people have to, so you mostly concentrate on the starches and the entrees, right? Not so much the fruits and the vegetables. People need to know they need to eat those as well.
Yes, exactly. We do have a lot of vegetables in our dishes too. I think the ones she's making today, the sweet potato bowl, that one does have a lot of vegetables in that one.
And that one, that's it. The sweet potato bowl recipe. You may find this interesting that is actually a Rip Esselstyn recipe. It was originally Esselstyn's son. For anybody who is aware of the video, what is it called? Fire Engine?
Engine 2?
Engine 2 diet, is that it? Because he was a firefighter for a long time. And the sweet potato bowl recipe is Rip Esselstyn's, he's Dr. Esselstyn's son. It was his recipe, except he added an ingredient that John thinks is a no-no, so we don't add that one. But it's still pretty darn good. Okay, so the tamale pie is in the oven, and now I'm getting ready to assemble the ingredients for the lentil loaf. And so I started with the carrot, onion, celery, mirepoix, and sauteed that in water. And then I added the mushrooms and sauteed that down and reduced it so that the mushrooms are kind of cooked. Now I'm adding oats, partial, it's divided in the recipe, oats, lentil divided, and then a bunch of other savory and flavor type things. So I've got some tomato paste that I'm going to add. Did you lose me or am I still there?
Oh, no, you're still there, but I'm glad you're learning about Zoom. You have to talk for us to see it, so thank you.
Okay.
Oh, Kathleen wants to know, what was the no-no ingredients in Rip's bowl?
Avocado.
Avocado.
Okay, so tomato paste. Next ingredient is tamari. That gives it a little bit of kind of saltiness, but also other good, rich flavors. Okay. Vegan Worcestershire sauce. Some folks might be familiar with a brand called Annie's. Sometimes we use Annie's, but we also found another brand called Robbie's that's vegan. So whatever's available to stop our dry storage. Thyme, the kind that comes in a bottle.
Oh, we got Daryl now. Finally, so Amanda, Daryl's here. He says, "Here I am. I order a boatload of food every 2 weeks. The stuffed pumpkin is fantastic, and we share the food with others, and we love the food." So that's a unrehearsed, spontaneous testimonial from a local resident.
Yay! Hi, Daryl. Thanks for showing up.
I want to know where Daryl was last week.
Yeah, Daryl, where were you last week? Daryl, why don't you type in the chat what your favorite items are other than the stuffed pumpkin, and we could share it with the live
He
viewers.
likes the burgers. I tell you that right now, he likes the burgers.
He also likes the lentil loaf. Those.
Yes.
That's great. Yeah. Well, we don't miss LA, but we do miss the Woodruffs. That's for sure.
Yeah, so he's a great example. He's a long-term customer, and I love, hearing his feedback of what items, because he delivered to him on Tuesdays. So if there's an item that you really like or, isn't on the menu that day, you can always give us a call. I mean, and I can look into it and see if possibly we can add it on. But we love to hear feedback. And for Daryl, he likes the lentil loaf. We'll try to arrange it to be on it today. So we love hearing feedback from our customers. We're very open. Yeah, we just want to serve what you guys want.
I know you probably can't customize stuff, but for those few people that are truly salt sensitive, and there are some people really that have unretractable high blood pressure, they've been to True North, would there ever be an option to get it completely without the added tamari or salt if they put the request in advance?
So Jen, do you want to answer that one?
I'm sorry, I missed the question. I'm setting up the food processor. What?
So the question was, is there are some people, because for 10 years, I've worked at a health center called the True North Health Center, and there are some people that are really, really salt sensitive. For them, they can't have even a grain. They have unretractable high blood pressure, and they water fasted to get well. And so for people like that, could a dish be made without the added tamari or salt if they told you in advance, or is it just too difficult to customize like that?
The size of the company right now, it's possible, but in a world where we grow to the size that we should be, it would be more difficult because we make things in batches. For example, today's production list had 7 orders of broccoli soup, which was made in a kettle, this big. And it would be possible to leave the salt out and add to each one that doesn't request that it be left out. It would be possible to do that now, but if we were to have to make like 20 batches of soup, it might be harder. But that said, I have to turn my Tamale Pie around.
So Amanda, Daryl said the lentil loaf for sure, split pea soup, burgers, tofu scramble, and several others.
All right. Thank you, Daryl.
And I thought of another one that we do that kind of has spicy. We do this thing with tempeh that's marinated in, it's got vegetable broth, a little bit of white wine vinegar, chili flakes, and what else is in the marinade? I can't remember, but it's marinated before we slow saute it, and the chili flakes give it a nice bite. So what was the question I was answering when I walked away?
I don't even remember anymore.
Salt.
Salt, yeah.
So when somebody places their order online, there's a field in which they can put notes. So it can be delivery notes, ingredient request notes, a hello, a coupon code. I mean, I think the coupon code is its own field when they order too, but you know, if they want to say hi, Jen, or whatever, there is a place for every online order that comes in, and they can request. For example, one of our employees here hates raw onions, but he orders salads that typically would get onions regularly. So, I mean, at this point, we know not to put onions in his items with their raw. He doesn't mind cooked. Do you know who I'm talking about, Amanda?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. But if somebody has a salt issue or, you know, some weird allergy, like I'm allergic to red bell peppers, and it happens, you know, it's not common, but we accommodate everything humanly possible. And, you know, until we're making 500 orders a day, which we want to eventually, we'd love to see the business grow so that we have 3 people working 3 shifts a day to get the product done. But it's manageable for now. So yeah, requests are.
Did you notice that more or less people were ordering from you during the, you know, the height of the, well, I mean, I don't know what the height of the pandemic is because it's, but you know what I mean, the very beginning when everybody was home.
Do you want to answer that, Amanda, or?
I would say we've seen an increase, and I think we've seen an increase in like Orange County area, and I think more of our remote areas too versus our local areas. So it's well, would you say that's about right, Jen?
We had some really insane spikes on Monday production at the very beginning of lockdown, mainly for the folks who get Tuesday deliveries or people who order at the beginning of the week for the whole week. And we had a couple of really long days and some crunch days, and I was pulling some doubles, and I was even doing triples for a while when I was doing deliveries because one of our delivery people was injured. But we make it happen. It's incredibly rare that we fall short for any reason, because that's just me, you know. I'll work 20 hours to get it done. So.
Yes, you will. We're a team with many hats.
So I'm actually, because Suyan is behind me, I'm gonna go off camera for a minute and put this in the food processor and pulse it for a minute so you can have.
Great. So Amanda, and Vina says, I'm in Orange County, excited to order from you. So please make sure you use the discount code FAJ15X. The capital is the C, the A, and the J, because then you get $15 off your first order of $30 or more so that you can try it.
Yes, exactly. So how to order on our website, you would go to our website and you want to create an account first with us. So we don't require a subscription or anything like that, but you do want to create an account with us. And so after you confirm your account and you're in, then you can start adding items to your order. And then when you proceed to checkout, there will be a little section, it's like a little white box that says add coupon. So you'll just add the coupon code right there, and it should deduct the $15 off. So you just have to make sure it's a minimum of $30 or more, and then the $15 comes off of that. So yeah, so if you, for instance, again, just to clarify, because it's not super clear on our website, we are going through website development, and hopefully we'll see a lot more improvements over the next month or so. But so LA County, you would just pick from any of the Tuesday menus, Orange County, from any of the Thursday menus. And if there's something on there that, you know, you see on another day, but it's not offered on the day that you'd like to order, again, give us a call. I think in the show notes will be our phone number, but in case not, it's 626-387-3675. You can always email us too. We're pretty good at responding to emails. Contact us at littlegreenforks.com.
Great. I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but is the food kosher? Not certified. I'm sure it can't be.
Yeah, no, we don't. We're not kosher certified.
No, I mean, it is technically kosher, but I know they go through a whole, it's, you know, people that keep kosher want that certification. So yeah. Is there any bit of a recipe that you tried that really just like was an epic failure?
Oh, yes. A lot of the recipes that I brought in were actually from my personal cookbook. I've invented a few or tweaked a few that I found online. But occasionally John will present a recipe of something that he'd like to see added to the menu. And the current epic failure was pumpkin bites. They were supposed to be like little mini pumpkin muffins, and they came out, I called them banana goo balls, because they tasted more like banana, and the consistency was all wrong. And I followed the recipe. I don't know what happened. Okay, I am now at almost the final stage of the lentil loaf. Everything remaining in the recipe, we pre-cook and pre-portion lentils because this is such a popular item. So we keep some in reserve so we never have to scramble at the last minute. So the rest of the lentils, the rest of the oats that the recipe calls for have gone in. And I don't know how well this is going to show up on the screen, but so everything else that's in the recipe, as it's mentioned on the website at thenewside.org, it gets pulsed so that it's mixed, but you still want a coarse texture because you want it, you don't want it to be mush or pasty or whatever. You want it to kind of resemble what it's supposed to resemble, which is ground beef. And those all get mixed together and then formed into a loaf. The trickiest part of this recipe, it's really not hard at all. The trickiest part of the recipe is portioning it once it's done.
There's a question if you guys put nutritional information on your website or anything about the food.
So on our website, we do list the calories currently. So we list the calories and the fat calories. We kind of
and allergens.
Oh, and allergens too. So like gluten, soy. So currently we are a smaller company. So as we expand, we do plan to add more nutritional information on our menu items. But for now, we do offer the calorie count.
Thanks.
Yeah, so I'm really fortunate in that I'm really good at eyeballing things. I'm really good at judging measurements and portions just by looking because I do so much of it. But I consider myself fortunate. Tamale Pie.
Yeah, so we typically have one person working in the kitchen at a time for the most part. We sometimes have two, but that's why you'll see Chef Jen's wearing her mask because we have another person working in the kitchen today as well. But we're always taking our safety precautions.
Oh, I wear a mask even when I'm alone at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, my typical shift is 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. and I've been up since 6 o'clock last night, so I'm running on fumes. This is not my typical window of being awake. Right now, it's midnight for me. So originally, I don't think your viewers are aware of this, AJ, but originally this show was scheduled in September, right? Wasn't it September?
Yeah, and then something happened. You were just getting your new kitchen.
Yeah, because we were moving right around that time.
Mm-hmm. So it worked out. I'm glad we did it this time. So we've been in our new kitchen for, wow, almost 2 months now.
Yeah, because we moved over Labor Day weekend.
Mm-hmm. So it's a lot bigger than our last. There's a lot more storage. Everything is ours now. Nothing, shared. So we're really fortunate to, and we're all in the same location. So we're excited. It's great working, all in the same.
It's a much better commute for me too. Maybe someday I'll get to ride my bike. Okay, so the actual loaf gets shaped by hand. We do not have a mold for it. So for people who order this regularly, Mr. Woodruff, Dr. Woodruff, I did not know he was a doctor.
Yeah, he's retired, so you can call him Daryl.
The Tanners order this quite a bit because actually on the News Side website, The title of this recipe is Linda's Lentil Loaf, and that's John's wife. So apparently this was a holiday special and was not a regular year-round thing that often, but now they order it all the time because I'm making it. So I don't think the camera angle.
Tilt it down if you like. You can tilt the screen down a little bit if you want to show them.
But my hands are covered in food right now, so that's not possible. Oh,
Use your chin.
Ha! I don't think anybody wants me that up close and personal. Okay, so the loaf itself is very textured. It has whole cooked lentils, whole oats, and then the vegetables and a little bit, it's like 25% of the lentils and 33% of the oats got pulsed in the food processor. But there's plenty of texture from the remaining ingredients. And this is what it looks like. Hang on, I'm gonna get rid of the gloves. This is what it looks like on the tray, but we're not done yet. There's a glaze. It's very simple. The glaze actually got made several hours ago because it's smart to have it done before you start doing all the cooking of the savory ingredients. And it's supposed to look kind of like a barbecue sauce, I guess. And it's got a little bit of maple in it, but the majority of the glaze is just straight up ketchup. And we do organic ketchup so that it has less junk in it. Fewer chemicals, fewer high fructose corn syrup, calories, what have you. So I'm doing all 5 exposed sides of the loaf, and it goes in for a half an hour, and then you put the remainder of the glaze on it and finish it afterwards. I don't think we're going to be online long enough to do that, so I have one that's already finished to show you. So but this one's going in the oven because I don't want to leave it sit.
And then Chef Jem will show you afterwards too what we serve our lentil loaf with.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about?
I do have a finished product. Do I want to what? Talk about what?
I was going to say, do you want to talk about what we serve it with? The lentil loaf.
Oh, the lentil loaf in our presentation comes with 6 ounces of those incredibly creamy mashed potatoes that I make, and 4 ounces of green beans. I figured that was kind of the classic presentation, the classic plate, as it were. But we do have a star customer who requests either green peas or extra potatoes because he doesn't like green beans. No problem. So that can be done. Theoretically, we could substitute 4 ounces of any other vegetable that we keep in stock, which is, we have fresh broccoli, fresh cauliflower, zucchini, yellow squash. We could even do like penny carrots. What else do we have that would like cook? Those would probably be the staples though, because it's, the whole meat and potatoes thing. Those are basic vegetables. But again, if the customer wants to substitute for something like that, they can just put a note and it'll happen. We also sell servings, 8-ounce servings of mashed potatoes by themselves. So if somebody has their own thing, and this would be, a great item again for Thanksgiving. If someone wants to order like a pint or a quart or a couple quarts of mashed potatoes, it can be done. And they get nothing but potatoes. So you'd have to figure out pricing for that though, Amanda.
Any gravy to go with the mashed potatoes?
We don't currently offer that, but I mean, we do that mushroom gravy that goes in the stuffed pumpkin. And that exact same recipe, except we don't do the cornstarch for the stuffed pumpkin because I want the liquid of the broth to be able to help cook the hard shell squash and to keep the barley soft. But we have another dish that uses the exact same gravy, and it's a sliced portobello that's presented with a baked potato and asparagus that's marinated in lemon, garlic, pepper sauce. Not really a sauce, but the mushroom is sliced so that it kind of looks like a flat iron steak the way that it's served, and it's the same recipe for the mushroom gravy. But as far as with the potatoes, that's not something we currently have on the menu.
Okay, good to know. Well, everybody loves mashed potatoes. At least I think so.
Right? Okay, so the two things are in the oven, and the last item that I'm going to do is super simple. It'll probably be done before even, well, maybe the tamale pie, because the tamale pie is really close. So the sweet potato bowl, which I have a couple things prepped, and I need to get new gloves. I'll be right back.
So the sweet potato bowl we do offer on our menu almost daily since it's a pretty popular item. And yeah, you typically heat it up and it tastes really good with the balsamic dressing that comes with it too, the balsamic vinegar. So it's a really good dish. It's on our almost daily. We have a few other daily items too, like our black bean oat burger, Asian butternut squash with a rosemary reduction, and curried chickpeas and rice. So we have a variety of dishes you'll see on almost daily, and then we have some gourmet entrees that you'll see kind of rotate off the week.
Have you ever thought of getting in touch with some of the plant-based cardiologists in the San Fernando Valley, telling them about your food?
So on the Newsci website, we do have a doctors list section, which is a list of all of the plant-based doctors that have submitted their to us. And so there's some throughout the area, San Gabriel Valley, and we also have some throughout the country also. So we try to get into connection with them, tell them about our business so they can refer people to Little Green Forks. So we've got into contact with some of them. We are always open to connecting with more people, more cardiologists, plant-based cardiologists. So definitely part of our strategy to kind of share this food with everyone we possibly can.
Do you know if you connected with Dr. Uri Benzer?
I don't think so, actually.
Because he's pretty strict with with the diet that he recommends, and I think he should know about this.
Is he in the area?
Well, he's in Tarzana.
Okay. Yeah.
Or maybe it's Encino, but he's definitely in the San Fernando Valley. He himself is kosher, but for his patients, he wouldn't care.
All right, great. I'll have to.
Hey, Amanda, have you mentioned that John actually will go out and do presentations and talks?
So yes, in person he used to before. Now since we're doing it virtually on Zoom, yes. If anybody that's watching, if you know of anyone or any groups that would like John Tanner, our founder, to do a presentation, it's pretty much our Newsci workshop presentation. Free presentation that he will do. And so if you let us know, you can even contact us at littlegreenforks.com. You can send an email there. And my name is Amanda, so you can email us and say you have a group that you think John would be great to speak in front of. Please let us know. He, like Jen was talking about earlier, he's just passionate, really, really passionate about just sharing this with everybody possible. So there's no fee or anything like that required. It's part of his nonprofit efforts. And so, yeah, we are always looking for groups for him to speak in front of and to share this information. We'll do the book raffle usually also and share Little Green Forks coupons. So, yeah, if you know any groups, great suggestion, Jen. Yeah, any groups that anybody knows, feel free to reach out to us. Churches, plant-based vegan groups, anything like that.
Okay, so I have all my stuff ready to assemble the last item, which is the sweet potato bowl. I took the liberty of cooking my sweet potatoes earlier and just, cook them to fork tenderness, stovetop, microwave, however you like, but diced. So roasting is not really a good option here. So that's the base. And then the next level is mango chunks, which we buy frozen because mangoes are so hard to work with. And this comes in layers. I think one person that works in the kitchen likes to mix it, but I do it in layers. This is the one I'm taking home today. Okay, and then the next layer is black beans. We use canned. These are pre-measured. Sprinkle those around. And the last item, how simple is this, is diced red bell pepper. We make a dressing that comes with it, and it's the little cup and lid is enclosed right in the tray. And because even though most of our packaging is eco-friendly and microwave-friendly, the dressing cups right now are not. So they melt if you put them in the microwave. So we put a little reminder sticker on the lid of the dressing cups for anything that gets a dressing cup inside an item that's meant to be heated, as a reminder to the customer to open it and take that cup out before they put it in the microwave or oven. And by the way, our trays are oven and microwave safe for the large and medium sizes. And I think the soup containers are also microwave friendly, are they not?
Yes, they are.
Yes. Unfortunately, and this is something that, again, I don't think you mentioned this earlier, Amanda, but we offer many of our entree items as what's called family size. And we used to serve them, package them in a container made by Glazing, you know, the company that makes garbage bags and stuff like that. And it was a beautiful container that held the equivalent of 3 larges, which is still how we sell family size, but the packaging is different. So it was 96 ounce, and it was both oven and microwave safe and had a lid. Glad stopped making those a couple of months ago, unfortunately, and we have not found a suitable replacement. Another item that John does not allow to touch food is aluminum, and it's not a standard part of the whole food plant-based diet, but John, I mean, he loves researching all this stuff and trying to eliminate every possible thing that could harm somebody. And aluminum is one of those things. And some people may know already of the harm aluminum has, like with underarm deodorants, that there's been links to breast cancer and stuff with aluminum. But we also do not let aluminum touch the food. So we cannot use aluminum trays, even though those are really common out in the world, because there's some research that's not conclusive, but indicative that aluminum and the way that molecules work, and that if even a little bit of it gets in your food and accumulates in your body, because our bodies don't know what to do with it. So it keeps that in there. It doesn't flush out. And that eventually the amounts of aluminum in our bodies, particularly brain, can exacerbate Alzheimer's disease. And that there's been research that shows a fairly reliable link, although it's not proven. Because the studies, it's like an A equals B and B equals C, but they haven't proven that A equals C. So our trays for the large and medium are paper, these black paper things. And then family size, everything that doesn't get cooked in an oven. So we have the shepherd's pie, the tamale pie, we have an enchilada casserole that we cook in the oven. Those don't come in a family size container. They come as 3 larges. But almost everything else that the customer might order as a family size, like the curry chickpeas and rice, or the spicy eggplant, or pretty much anything that doesn't go in the oven that we offer as a family size, still comes in a container that big, but it's not oven safe, and we put a sticker on it saying so. So here, wait, I have one more thing to add to the shepherd's sweet potato bowl, but I'm going to get that tamale pie out first.
So if you order a large size entree tray or medium, so you would put them in, I usually would just peel back the plastic a little bit before you put them in the microwave, and then you can just heat them up for about 3 to 5 minutes. The medium's probably more on the 3-minute side, and then the large is more probably on the 5-minute side. And then you're ready to eat it. So it's a very simple, you just keep them in the refrigerator, or as I mentioned earlier, you can keep them in the freezer. And yeah, you just put them in the microwave, and you can also put them in the oven also if you wanted to, or whatever is more convenient or whatever your preference is.
So let's see, question. Do you only do delivery? Do you have a food truck or anything like that? And how do you do your deliveries? And do you have a cookbook?
There is no food truck. That does sound really awesome, but not in our plans. But who knows? We never know what the future holds. Like we talked about earlier, we have this new kitchen, so we're utilizing that as much as we can. And so how delivery will work, so you would just have to order by 9 p.m. the night before, and then the next day we would deliver to you. So we deliver between 2 and 5 p.m. typically. And our driver will, it's a contactless delivery for the most part. He'll ring on the doorbell or knock and see if you're there. If not, then your order will stay on your porch in our cooler bags that we have with ice packs. So it's definitely going to be safe for you when you get back home, or if you just don't want to answer the door, and then you can take the bags in afterwards. We just ask that on your next order that you would leave the bags and the ice packs before outside your door. And then our driver will retrieve them, which we sanitize and make sure are clean before we send them out again. And we usually send a delivery notification afterwards as well when the order has been delivered. So no cookbook yet. Our newsci.org is pretty much our, how we share recipes with people. And it's our cookbook in a way. It's a compilation of just a variety of different recipes and how we've gotten potato bowl from Rip Esselstyn. So that's pretty much where we keep everything. That was newsci.org. So yeah, no cookbook, but who knows what may come in the future.
Okay, I am ready to present finished products. So this is the sweet potato bowl, and when the customer receives it, they'd have the dressing cup would be in one corner of the tray with a little sticker reminding them not to put it in the oven. The only difference between what you see here and what can you see it actually? I can't tell from there what you can see.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Okay. The customer would actually see the dressing cup and one sprig of cilantro as a garnish, but because they'd be taking the cup out before heating it, the rest of the cilantro is underneath the cup, because if it's on top and we seal it with the film, it sticks to the film and they don't actually get to eat it. So we make it possible for the cilantro to actually remain an ingredient rather than just a garnish. So that's what it looks like. This is also what the customer sees when they go to littlegreenforks.com. This is the item that's on our homepage. Sweet potato bowl, even though it's in a tray. Okay, tamale pie. This is the finished tamale pie. Beautiful cornbread. We are currently exploring gluten-free options for cornbread, which I'd be thrilled because this is a great dish and I can't eat it. So it still weighs. Let's see how much it weighs now. It lost about 2.5 ounces of water in cooking. So it still weighs 1 3/4 pounds. That's the tamale pie. And the finished lentil loaf looks like this. So
Yum.
typically, a serving would be about this much per customer. We get roughly 4.5 servings per loaf, maybe 5, depending how, the water content evaporates. But we do it by ounces, and the customer gets approximately 8 ounces of lentil loaf, 6 ounces of mashed potatoes, and 4 ounces of green beans per large. So that's the finished product. Oh, and a little sprig of parsley on the mashed potatoes.
So that looks delicious.
Oh, it smells so good when it's cooking. Oh, it smells so good.
Somebody's asking if your pickup site is in Duarte or in Monrovia.
So, yeah, so our website, we are currently transitioning our web development team. So on our website, we have some outdated information. To update everyone, we have moved. So we are no longer in Monrovia. We are in the city of Duarte. And so our address is 1851 Huntington Drive, and that's in the city of Duarte. And usually before someone picks up, I always will give them a call, make sure they're aware of our new pickup address, just to make sure. So we're hoping, this is only a temporary time right now on our website listing the incorrect address. So we are going to be changing that soon and updating that. But yes, very good question. So we are in Monrovia for a few years. I don't even 10 years, but that was John Tanner's tech company. But ever since Little Green Forks started, we were in Monrovia, and then our kitchen was in Pasadena. So yes, we are now all in one location in the city of.
Yeah, and not only do we do food that is as natural as possible and phenomenally flavorful, really. And I'm not just saying that to plug it. I actually eat this every day. I order something every day. It's my main meal. But most of our packaging is eco-friendly. We even compost our vegetable and fruit leftovers. So we're really, it's not the focus of the company overall, but these are things that make a difference, So if people have other reasons for being a vegan, of course, there are 3 main reasons that people become vegans. And if you choose to follow this lifestyle or even just the diet, all 3 benefits come from it, even if it's not your aim. But we try to go even further than that with our eco-friendly packaging, plant-based plastics in many of our packaging, and compost. So just trying to keep the earth around as long as possible.
Well, thank you. Your food looks delicious. I just only wish I could taste it. We need smell-o-vision or taste-o-vision, and we do the show close to lunch. It's so it drives me crazy seeing all these delicious food. So guys, please check out the website, Little Green Forks. Remember to use the Chef AJ discount if you're going to order for the first time, $15 off. And even if you're not going to order, check out newsci.org because there's wonderful recipes on the website, free interactive the broadcasts or whatever, what do you call it? A week, month, I don't know what to call it.
The workshops?
Workshops. Sorry, I could not think of that. Couldn't think of the word, but John Tanner is awesome. His story is so inspiring. His passion is contagious. And thank you guys so much for the work you're doing. And I hope that you expand to the entire United States.
Thank you so much, Chef AJ, for having us on. We really appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you, Amanda. And thank you so much, Jen. The food looked amazing. It looks amazing.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And thanks all of you for watching another episode of Chef AJ Live. Please come back tomorrow when we have 3 shows. We know it's election day and sitting there by the television isn't going to change anything. So we're going to distract you with some quality programming. At 11 a.m., we have one of the medical doctors from True North, Dr. Joshua Hellman, doing a wonderful PowerPoint presentation about how toxins and things like plastics can actually be obesogens. You don't want to miss that. At 1 p.m., we have a doctor that I'll be meeting for the first time, Dr. Bindia Gandhi. And at 3 p.m., we'll have Tuesdays with Thomas, a culinary demo with his newest flavor of California balsamic vinegar. Take care, everyone. See you tomorrow. And thanks again, Little Green Forks. Bye-bye.